Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to master 25 key words that will give you a real edge on your standardized tests. Ready? Let's dive right in.
We'll kick things off with a group of words that are all about letting go, rejecting, or pushing something away. A great little trick is to notice that many of these words start with re, which often means back or again. Learning them together makes them so much easier to remember.
First up, we've got two words that seem similar, relinquish and renounce. They both mean to give up, but they do it in slightly different ways. To relinquish something is just to let it go. You could be holding it physically, or it could be an idea. But to renounce something is much more formal. It's like making a big, public declaration that you're giving it up, like a title or a belief.
This really helps show the difference, doesn't it? You might relinquish control of the TV remote or your spot in a game. It's really just about letting go. But you renounce something much bigger, like a belief system or a claim to a throne. Think of a king renouncing his crown. It's a huge final decision. Okay, let's add two more powerful R words to this group. To repudiate something is to reject it with force, completely. Imagine someone makes a false accusation against you. You would repudiate it. Then you have relegate, which means to move someone or something down to a less important position. You're basically pushing them back or demoting them.
And look, these examples make it all super clear. You might relinquish your spot in a long line. A prince could renounce his title. A company might repudiate false claims about its product. And a star player who performs badly might be relegated to the bench. All right, let's move on to our second group. These words are all about arguing and criticizing. And what's interesting is how they cover a whole range, from a really gentle correction to a very strong condemnation.
I absolutely love this ladder of criticism idea. It's so helpful. So at the very bottom, you reprove someone. That's a mild, gentle critique. Climb up one step, and you reproach them. This is a stronger scolding that really shows you're disappointed. But at the very top of the ladder, an action is reprehensible. That means it's just so morally awful that it deserves extreme blame.
And you can really feel the intensity change in these examples. A teacher might gently reprove a student for whispering. A parent might reproach a child for breaking a promise, showing their disappointment. But an act of cruelty, that is truly reprehensible.
So what happens if you're the one who disagrees? Well, you remonstrate. It's a more formal word, but it just means you're protesting or arguing against a decision that you think is wrong.
As you can see here, to remonstrate is to formally protest. The example says the employees remonstrated with their boss about a new policy. It's the perfect word for an essay where you want to show a serious objection.
Our third group is all about actions and what happens next, the consequences. We'll start with a couple of common actions and then explore the different kinds of results they can lead to.
Let's start with two simple actions. To reiterate is just to repeat something, usually to make sure it's clear. And hey, there's that re prefix again, to state again. To replenish means to fill something up again after it's been used, like restocking the shelves at a store or refilling your water bottle.
And this shows the difference so perfectly. Reiterate is all about words and ideas. A teacher might say, "Let me reiterate the main points for the test." But replenish is about physical things, like, we need to replenish our supply of snacks.
Okay, now for three really important words about consequences. A reparation is a payment you make to fix damage or a wrongdoing. A reprisal is totally different. That's an act of revenge or retaliation. And a repercussion is an indirect, often unintended consequence, kind of like the ripples that spread out after you toss a stone in a pond.
So you can see just how different these outcomes are. A company might pay reparations for polluting a river, an army might launch a reprisal attack in response to being attacked, and the decision to close a factory could have terrible economic repercussions for the whole town.
This next group is fantastic. It's all about describing people's personalities and actions. These are amazing words to make your writing sound much more precise and impressive.
We've actually split these into two handy categories to make them easier to learn. On one side, we have words for positive or neutral traits. On the other, words for traits that are a bit more negative or harsh.
First, let's look at the positive side. Resolute means you're really determined and you won't back down. Robust means strong and healthy. Reticent describes someone who's quiet and reserved, maybe a little shy about speaking. And to revere someone is to hold them in deep, deep respect and admiration.
Now for those tougher traits. A rogue is a dishonest person who doesn't follow the rules. Relentless means unstoppable, but usually in a negative or harsh way, like a relentless storm. And rigorous describes something that is extremely thorough and difficult, like a rigorous training program.
Okay, for our final group, we have words that describe these bigger ideas and situations. These are excellent, high-level words that will really make your vocabulary shine.
Here's a quick look at our last 5. We've got words that mean rebirth, being full, taking a break, something that's required, and even the art of persuasive speaking.
So Renaissance doesn't just have to be about history. It can mean any kind of revival or rebirth, like an old part of town enjoying a renaissance. And replete is just a sophisticated way to say something is full of something else. A novel could be replete with adventure, for example.
A respite is a short, much-needed break from something difficult. Requisite just means it's required or necessary for a specific purpose, like experience is requisite for this job. And finally, rhetoric is the art of speaking or writing in a way that is effective and persuasive.
So, the real challenge for you is this. How are you going to use all this new vocabulary in your own rhetoric? Start practicing today, and you'll make your own communication more robust and resolute. Thanks for watching.